For a company to achieve its mission, it needs to set specific objectives aligned with company goals. This is not as easy as it sounds. Using a systematic approach to setting goals helps a company develop achievable and realistic objectives that are aligned to a company's vision.
To achieve the company vision, strategic management is necessary. Strategic management looks at the broader pictures and considers the development of specific objectives that will achieve the company's goals.
It is important to note the difference between goals and objectives. Goals refer to the company's overall aims. We will reduce operational costs over the coming year, is an example of a goal. Objectives are the specific action plans that are developed to meet the goal. For example, we will renegotiate our contracts with our suppliers in order to reduce costs.
The first step in developing company objectives is to know the organizational strategy. In other words, what is the company's purpose? What is it aiming to deliver? This is known as strategic intent. Strategic intent exists at all levels of the organization. The corporate strategy is concerned with the overall purpose and scope of the organization to meet the expectations of major stakeholders. The business unit strategy is aimed at how best to meet customer needs. The operational strategy considers how resources will be allocated at the operational level.
The development of strategic objectives is based on the strategic intent at each level. But why should a company set objectives?
Developing objectives helps the organization create specific and feasible ways in which to carry out the mission. Completed objectives can serve as a marker to show members of the organization, investors, and the greater community what the initiative has accomplished. Creating objectives helps the organization set priorities for its goals. It helps individuals and work groups set guidelines and develop the task list of things that need to be done. It re-emphasizes the mission throughout a process of change, which helps keep members of the organization working towards the same long-term goals, and developing the list of objectives can serve as a completeness check to make sure the organization is attacking the issue on all appropriate fronts.
Once the strategic direction of the company is understood, specific objectives can be developed. To start the process, data should be gathered to understand the company's strengths and weaknesses, and those areas where objectives needs to be set.
The data should also include how the company has performed historically and what needs to be improved.
When setting objectives, it is important to ensure that they can be measured, since what cannot be measured cannot be managed.
An often used approach to setting objectives is SMART or SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound.
The best objectives are also challenging. Challenging goals stretch the group to set its aims on significant improvements that are important to stakeholders.
Objectives should also include specific performance standards. Standards are usually expressed in quantities or quality of performance required. Performance standards measure how well an objective has been met. These performance measures must align with the overall company goals. Using benchmarks ensures that the measures are set against industry standards and best practices.
When establishing the parameters for measurement, the following questions should be asked. What is being measured of the product or service? How will it be measured? When will it be measured? Where will the measurement occur? And who is involved in the measurement?
Communication is vitally important when setting objectives. When everyone on the team understands the objectives and their role in achieving these, there is more team engagement and cooperation. This leads to a greater sense of purpose and direction for both the individual participants and the organization.
Setting objectives is an important step in helping a company achieve its ultimate aims, but objectives must be established with clear intent and an eye on the company's mission and vision. Incorporating specific measures ensures that the team does not lose sight of the objectives and performance is kept on track.